one. Okay, you guys. So if you guys are new here, which I do think we have a couple of new faces in here, our Thursday night group training calls are very laid back. They are started with some announcements followed by a topic. And then last but not least, some Q&A type stuff. If you guys have any questions, ask me whatsoever, whether it's on the topic or anything else, happy to help with whatever you need at the end of that call. With all that being said, I'll start with some announcement pieces. The next challenge is starting really, really soon. So it will really be helpful for you to put that into your calendar, get back into that habit of turning them in regularly so that we can help you most appropriately. I will definitely let you guys know when that happens, when it launches, but you will see that as soon as you open up your app that day at the top of the dashboard. You'll see like enter the challenge, take your pictures, but I will be letting you guys know when that occurs as well. The assessment reviews, if you are new here, are the absolute best way for us to give you suggestions, adjustments, recommendations to get to that next step of progress. The way that we often look at assessments is we will look at it as almost like a triage therapy kind of thing, right? I'm not going to suggest that any one of myself or Jenna or Jamie give you 10 tasks to change over the next week, because that's just overwhelming for anybody. So we'll give you 1 to 2 things to really focus on. And then that way, once you get comfortable achieving those pieces, then we can really jumpstart you into, the next one to really optimize that next level of progress as well. And stay as honest as you can on those when you are answering them. By the way, that means like if you aren't fully tracking your food, or if you are fully tracking your food, but you are not hitting your at least calories and protein every single day, right? Or at least 6 of 7 days a week, you are not following the plan. Right? Like it's okay if you're not following the plan, but when you answer that top question that you're following the plan, but your days are half tracked, or you're missing a whole bunch of foods, or you're like maybe only hitting calories, but you're way under at everything else, whatever the case is, you're participating, but you are not following the plan, right? There's a difference. So be honest with yourself. Are you doing it part of the time? Or are you really dug in and are you doing it? That is going to be the change. Okay. So be honest with yourself when you answer certain questions. AKA also, if you are eating the cookies, drinking the wine, having the beers, having the hot dogs, whatever, I don't care, enter them, right? Because maybe there's a good thing that we can swap out there for you to make it better for the situation in the future, instead of trying to hide it or not admit that we did that, right? It's okay. So all of those things for the assessment. So just get used to turning them back in again. Let's stay honest and let's get them turned in on a regular basis. The Invest in Yourself coaching topics coming up. So next week is going to be how to optimize sulforaphane, right? I'm going to look up how to say that before the call actually happens, but it does some really cool stuff. And we're going to work on optimizing that in our bodies next week. Okay. That's going to be the next one. And then from there, we're going to talk about minimal support at home. The following topic is going to be sprinting for gains, power of antioxidants, and then the problem with rewarding yourself with food. So those are going to be our upcoming topics throughout July and next week. So next week was kind of like a bonus week. I went to look at the calendar. I was like, oh crap, we have an extra week in June. I better probably come up with a topic. And that's where we came up with that one. But I think it's going to be really good and it's definitely applicable. And we're going to learn some new things, which is fun. I pulled that topic out of Genius Foods by Max Lugavere. This is an excellent read. If you guys are interested in nutrition, interested in learning more about all the different types of foods, what they do for you, how to optimize different things in your body. This has been so awesome so far. As you can see, I've got lots of pieces in there. So would highly recommend that one. As far as resilient one-to-one coaching, limited spots available in that, but just to put it out there, that will be open until the absolute latest of July 10th. But if it is full, it is full. If it is not full, it is still closing. So if you are interested in that, we have until that time to really pull the trigger. But if not, that is okay. We can always wait till a future date to do that as well. But just to refresh your memory on one-to-one coaching, what that looks like, it's the resilient one-to-one coaching. That's going to be where we have a 12-week span of just you and me talking for 20 minutes a week, going through your assessment review, seeing what pieces we need to tweak for your specific goals, exactly what you want, what you struggle with, whatever it is that you're working around, whatever it is that you're working toward. We will dig into every single little piece of that and optimize your progress toward it by setting up a plan that's very, very, very customized to you. So we have between now and July 10th at the absolute latest to get signed up for that. But if you so choose to hold off on it for now, like I said, that is a-okay with me. Let's see, moving on from there, just a couple more announcements. Like I was saying, please do keep sharing the group, the app, the podcasts, the YouTube shorts, or the videos that I put out as you see fit. It means more to me than you realize, and it helps so very much. So if you see something that is worth sharing, please do share it with somebody that you think would benefit them. And then from there, also last announcement is please send your order numbers that start with 1P when you do make those orders with me, because I do want to make sure that I am making sure that you know how you're using the products that you chose to get. I want to make sure you get the most out of those things. Also, you guys, I do want to make sure that you talk to me before you make orders, especially for new products or if you are brand new to these supplements, because I want to make sure that we get the most bang for your buck. I want to make sure that we're getting the right things in your hands that make sense right now for your goals. I'll help you with flavors. I'll help you with specific products with the right stacks, that kind of thing, to save you as much money as possible. And if you are concerned about trying things before you buy things, we do have sample packs for almost like not everything, but a lot of things. So if you want to try stuff before you buy it, you can do that through my website. So there's all of those. All right. Now, as far as tonight's topic, this is all about being in nature, vitamin D, sunlight, and the effect on your mood specifically and why that happens. So first, I just want to talk through like nature, right? What does being in nature really do for us? Why is it that that improves our mood? Because we might notice that the more that we are outside in nature, that our mood does spike up, that it does get better. That's probably one of the main things that's pulling me through the last couple of weeks, is forcing myself outside every day for walks. And it's all of that natural sunshine. So nature is part of our ancestry, and it's where our bodies were designed to be a part of, right? As much as we're not a part of nature on a regular basis now, that's what we were designed to be a piece of. We are a piece of nature. So when we are in nature, it is natural for our bodies to be in there, to operate in the way that it's supposed to. Okay, so that makes sense, right? Another thing, learning to optimize and use and work with nature helps improve our body's proper function and therefore the mood that we have, right? So when we optimize the natural resources around us, or we use and work within the nature that we have around us, it's going to improve how our body actually functions all the way down to the cellular level, and therefore improve the mood, because all of our chemical reactions and our hormones and everything else start to work together a little bit better as well, just from being in our natural environment. Being in nature allows you to disconnect more and process life and stress, leads to clearer thinking and memory processing. So with all of that being said, that's just from a mentality standpoint. When you go out there, you unplug, you have to look where you're walking. You might trip over that stick. Check out the flower on the way by. Really look at your scenery, look at the clouds. What is the life looking like? If you are stressed out or you need to disconnect, go on a walk or go walk in your front yard, anything like that, and just observe the scenery. It's going to help you disconnect, help you unplug, going to help you refresh. And what I will also say is them saying that it helps with memory processing and clearer thinking. The walking path that you guys see me on almost every single day shows up in my dreams all the time. So REM sleep is where we process our memories. That's where we process what we learn. So the fact that I'm dreaming about the environment that I put myself in so often is really, really awesome. There's also been studies shown that when you walk and learn out in nature, you will remember that information a lot better. So there's like specific doctors that have tested this, where when they go on a walk with a patient and they're teaching them about something or they're testing this out, that patient is able to recall things a lot more clearer and be able to process that information a lot better and a lot more accurately than the ones that were taught inside just sitting. So really cool things to think about with that nature really does help us just optimize how we process everything. Harvard studies have also shown that spending at least 20 to 30 minutes walking outside or even just sitting outside every day can lead to the biggest drops in cortisol, which is our stress hormone levels in the body. So cortisol is supposed to kind of naturally be high in the morning and then start to dip off in the afternoon and evening, being at its lowest when we're going to bed. And then it starts to tick back up, usually around that 2 a.m. time. So thinking about that, if our cortisol is always high, that's where we start to run into issues with body fat and chronic stress and all the things like, hi, it's me, right? I'm the problem. It's me. All of that. That's your girl here. So I got to work on handling my stress a lot better. So the fact that I'm pushing myself outside every single day, making myself soak up some sun in the afternoon, not in a dangerous way, right? I'm laying there and just getting some extra rays for a little bit. It does help drop that cortisol and that stress hormone specifically. So really, really impressive stuff there. As far as vitamin D benefits and sunlight itself, so this is going to help boost testosterone for one. FYI, everyone on here is female tonight. So if there are already males listening, obviously, yes, testosterone, let's like be strong and manly, cool. But women, your testosterone levels are actually higher than your estrogen levels a lot of your cycle. So it's really important to make sure that your testosterone levels are also evened out and optimized. And that's actually going to improve strength and recovery and sleep. It improves everything. So if you're struggling with fat loss, struggling with fatigue, struggling with gaining muscle, all of those pieces, your testosterone might be low. So by going out into the sunlight and soaking up vitamin D through your skin, that can really, really help improve that testosterone level naturally. Also helps balance hormones. So vitamin D is known as a happy hormone. It's actually called a pro hormone, and your body naturally makes it into the, let's see, so your body naturally makes the vitamin D by touching the skin. And then a pro hormone isn't actually a hormone itself, but is converted into a hormone in the body. So when the sun touches the skin, it makes vitamin D. Then the vitamin D goes to the liver and the kidneys, and that gets converted to the active hormone, which is called calcitriol, which I am positive I butchered, but that is what also makes us super happy. Okay. So, I just love doing all of this sciencey stuff for you, and I can't pronounce anything. It's super. You can Google all of it. But with that being said, sun, skin, vitamin D goes to liver, kidneys, that gets converted into happiness. We're just going to go with that. Okay. So that's how that works. Vitamin D also protects us from running out of serotonin, right? So a lot of our serotonin lives in our gut, but there's some serotonin that lives in our brain. And serotonin, let's see. So the vitamin D helps protect the serotonin that's in the brain, also helps regulate the adrenaline and dopamine, which also lead to lower risk of depression and obesity as well. So vitamin D really helps optimize all of the happiness and helps decrease anxiety, depressions, those kinds of things. So just by being outside can really scientifically lower these issues that a lot of people do struggle with. Something that was really interesting that I learned is that optimizing serotonin, which I pulled a lot of this information from Max's book. He talks about optimizing serotonin, especially in the brain. Healthy serotonin levels may actually rely on the vitamin D, as vitamin D helps create the serotonin from its precursor, the amino acid tryptophan. Okay, so tryptophan is known to be in like turkey. Okay, now let's be honest, when we eat all the turkey at Thanksgiving dinner, that is not what makes us sleepy. It is the fact that we ate a lot of food, and that's why we're sleepy. But tryptophan can make you sleepy if you have enough of that specific amino acid. But that is the precursor to creating serotonin, which is a sleepy hormone. It is a relaxed hormone. Okay. It's well known for its mood and sleep boosting abilities and makes the basics of the serotonin or the serotonergic system. There we go with those big words again. Exercise also boosts mood by causing muscles to use up the circulating BCAAs in your bloodstream. So think about it this way, branched chain amino acids. I'm so glad I'm making y'all laugh because I can't pronounce crap here. I am sweating just a little bit because I look like a massive fool. This podcast is going to be a great episode. Y'all going to laugh your butts off. But anyway, it's going to be fine. But as far as that goes, so think about this. When we ingest different foods, especially proteins, right? They break down different amino acids in our body. And then those amino acids, specifically BCAAs, which leucine, isoleucine, valine, those are going to be traveling around in our bloodstream a little bit, okay, until our muscles need them. So if our muscles aren't getting a workout, then our muscles aren't going to soak them up as fast. So then what happens is our brain and blood barrier, right? That only allows so much stuff through at once. Well, that tryptophan is trying to make it through to that blood-brain barrier, but it's going to be outcompeted by the BCAAs that are in your bloodstream. So if the tryptophan can't make it through, then that means it's going to block the serotonin from getting there because the amino acids are going up there instead. Not that that's an issue, but that is going to like downgrade your serotonin release. So exercise helps boost your serotonin and mood also by causing muscles to use up the BCAAs, those branched chain amino acids that are floating around your bloodstream. And then that allows the tryptophan to actually go up to your brain and allows the serotonin to create and release. I actually got that one right. That sounded right. That was a good one. Let's use that piece. I said it all correctly. Okay. So that is what's really cool to understand as well. Like exercise has all kinds of benefits and helps us boost our mood for a lot of different reasons. But this specifically is really, really cool to understand. So there's that. So now you really want to optimize it. Go outside and work out. Go outside and go for a walk. Go outside and do your workout every once in a while. It'll even optimize it more. Another way to optimize serotonin is to reduce inflammation in the body. So that's going to help optimize the serotonin as inflammation blocks that serotonin release from neurons, according to a study from Children's Hospital Oakland Research Institute. So what that basically means is people with chronic inflammation in their body they are actually known to struggle with extra depression or with depression that isn't solved with typical solutions because the chronic inflammation is blocking those things from being a solution. So by reducing the inflammation in the body, then the therapies that they put these people through to help improve their depression will start to work. But until we take care of the inflammation, which is the root cause, or maybe not the root cause, but one of the root causes that's blocking it, then that will help the therapy start to improve on that depression situation. So I thought that that was really, really interesting as well. So ways to reduce inflammation in your body, omega-3s, taking in wild-caught fatty fish. Now, we talk about this a million times. You can do this through wild-caught salmon, mackerel, sardines, anchovies, right? Eat fish eggs if you are fancy. I've seen that stuff. I'm not interested. I'm not fancy enough to want that. I'm good. But you can also do that through a high quality supplement. Full Omega is ours. It's the one I trust and use. It's the one I recommend. If you have another omega-3 supplement that you prefer to use, let me know if you have questions on it. We'll see and make sure that it's a good set, that you're taking in enough of it. But those are going to help a lot to reduce inflammation. Also reducing processed foods, like things that have, added sugars and, extra preservatives, anything with extra processed vegetable oils in it. When we can reduce that stuff that's coming into our body nutrient wise, we're going to be able to optimize reducing the inflammation as well. So just like we talk about all the time, taking in good quality whole foods, reducing out processed foods, maybe not eliminating them completely because it's life, but reducing them a lot is going to help reduce that inflammation, help improve that serotonin release as well. So really cool stuff, you guys, that really will help you just be happier from going outside, right? How awesome is that? All of the benefits. So that is like the big piece. It's a rather quick call. The code for this week is ACE, ACE, which is my old pup's name, my old man Acer. So that is going to be your code call this week for anybody that's doing the sweep widget thing for the trip giveaway. But now at this point, if you guys have questions on anything at all, feel free to ask. Please don't ask me to pronounce anything because clearly that's off the docket for the night, but otherwise ask anything else that you want. Jamie, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, it's not a question, but I was just going to add something about being outside walking. I was always somebody who had music in my ears, podcast, always listening to something. And probably a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, my earbuds were not working, were not cooperating. I was super ticked off. And then as I got going, it was like one of the most enjoyable runs I ever had. And now I very rarely use my earbuds because to me, I get more out of an outdoor walk being unplugged, you know, not having that extra music or noise, but to each
Yeah.
their own. But if you don't like being outside, try it both ways. See what works for you, because I definitely agree with you. I feel so much better outside walking or running versus a treadmill.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. And, you know, to your point, right? I listen to podcasts while I walk all the time. But my favorite walks recently is when I drag Skylar with me during Shay's basketball camps each week. And he hates it because he's got short legs and he's basically jogging the whole time. But with that being said, we talk the whole time. There's no earbuds, there's no nothing. We just talk the whole time. He picks me massive flowers, pulls them up at the root. Like, it's great. And we have all these discussions about whatever 7-year-olds think about. And it's just been a lot more of a satisfying situation. I find myself laughing more. I find myself like really in the moment a lot more. So I think to Jamie's point, like that is a really, really good thing to try and something I need to really do more often as well, even by myself. All right. Well, I will let you all go for the night. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will be chatting with you all super soon, I'm sure. So bye, everybody.